Hi everyone, I'm here today with Jessie Cardin. So Jessie, thank you so much for taking your time to talk about your interest in track and field. I'd like to tell the listeners the event you enjoy competing in and how you first got involved.
Events that I compete in?
Yeah, and how you first got involved in track and field.
Oh, okay. So, I first got involved in track and field, following like my first cross country season, which was in seventh grade. My sister ran, she was probably 4 or 5 years older than me. And, I grew up watching her run and I thought maybe, I could run too, but I never thought I'd be like nearly as good as her. And then I joined in seventh grade per her request. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna enjoy it or not, but she always seemed to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And um, I ended up running seventh, eighth grade, doing pretty well, competing at like the district and state levels in Massachusetts, where I am from. And then I ran all through high school. Um, for track specifically, I always really enjoyed like the 2 mile. That was probably my favorite event. And then when I went, all through high school and into college, I ended up running the steeplechase. And I actually went to D3 nationals for that event. So I have to give my sister a lot of credit because she's kind of what got me into the sport.
That's cool. So how'd she start running? Like how did the running start in the family then?
Oh, geez. So she's the oldest of four. There's four of us. So it's my sister, my older brother, me, and then my younger brother. And she always loved soccer and she was very, very good at it, but she got a little overly competitive. And I think my mom started to see some qualities that she was developing that weren't the best. Um, how like winning is everything and not being a great teammate. And so my mom was like, you know what? You have to take a break from soccer. You have to pick a different sport to do. And my sister was devastated. And she was like, I love soccer. What am I going to do? And my mom was like, pick another sport, pick maybe cross country or field hockey, because my mom played field hockey as well. And my sister did cross country and she fell in love with it. And she never went back to playing soccer. So it was kind of a funny turn of events. But yeah, it was kind of like a punishment. That's how she got involved. So.
So do all four of your siblings run or do just you two?
No, it's just me and my sister. My older brother is not really he could be a good athlete. I think all my siblings could be good athletes, but him and my younger brother dabbled in like football, baseball, track. My younger brother was actually really good at track, but they never had a true passion for it. So they like to work with their hands. They work on cars and they weld and kind of do automotive stuff. But it's really just my sister and I that have gotten all the athletic genes. So,
That's good. So do you two run together a lot?
we did, I would say we did when I was in seventh grade, she was a senior. And then when she went off to college, she'd come back from breaks and we would run together when, I was in high school. Then I went off to college and she was starting her career as a news reporter because that's what her major was in, was communications. So she'd come and visit, back in Massachusetts and we would run. And then when I became a professional was right around when she started having children. And so I think she's intimidated to run with me now, even though I always enjoyed running with her. And it's something that we don't do super often anymore, but when we get to share a couple miles, it's always nice. So our time running together like kind of peaked when I was in college and she was right out of college. And now it's, gone down a bit because she doesn't get to run as much anymore. But we still try to make it happen once in a while.
That's good. So what's it like being a professional runner?
Oh, it's amazing. I love it so much. It's like a total dream of mine. I've been wanting to run professionally for pretty much all through college. I always wondered, am I good enough to run pro? And then after college, that dream became a little more real every day, and it definitely developed into a dream. And so now I can say I'm living my dream. So it's pretty
So
cool.
so do you still do steeplechase for pro level or do you do event?
Yeah, so I run a team called Hanson Brooks. And that team is more distance based. So we don't do um steeple per se. We do like 5K all the way up to the marathon. So my steepling days are unfortunately over, but I more so specialize in, I'd say like the half marathon and the marathon distance.
What do, do you have any upcoming races you have in your
So the race that I'm training for right now is the Boston Marathon.
That's exciting.
Hmm.
Have you done before?
I did. I did it in 2023, actually.
Do you
Yeah.
have a certain goal you're going for, or just finishing it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the goal that we're training for time-wise, I feel like is usually the one that everyone wants to know about, right? So we're training for a 2:28 marathon. My best marathon is a 2:33, so that would be a huge PR for me, which would be great. Um, I think my personal goal is always to finish because that can be a feat sometimes, and to be healthy, showing up to the starting line. Um, and I think just racing against like some really good runners and seeing how I match up against them, will be, another goal of mine, just to see how I can, um, race alongside them, I guess.
Um, do you find running helpful for your mental health as much as it is for your physical health?
Yeah, I do for sure. I think that running is a great way for you to challenge yourself. I think it's a great way for you to set goals. And I think it's a great way for you to figure out like your why. Like, why do you get up every day and run? Are you doing it because you're chasing success? Are you doing it because you're trying to be better every day? Are you doing it because it's a way for you to like debrief with yourself? Are you doing it because it's the only time you have alone to yourself? I think about people that are parents and how hard it is for them to have any time to themselves or devote anything to themselves. So, I definitely think it's good for your mental health. It's something I hope to be doing for a very, very long time because I think without it, you know, um, I get really sad.
Yeah, because I think me, like, sometimes I have a really rough day and like I can be depressed and like just get really down and I go for a run and it's like my mood changes.
Hmm.
It's crazy how like just one little run can just make the whole difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Um, do you have like pre-race music that you like listening to?
Oh, pre-race music. I'm kind of all over the place with music. I don't know about you, but I grew up on country. People are like, ugh, boo, country. I've always liked country. I love good country music, but then I'll switch over to maybe some like rap or like EDM. And then maybe I'll switch over to like some worship music. And then I might switch back over to like rock music. So it depends. It depends on my mood, but I feel like country is always a staple. Country and worship music is a staple for me. So might be a minor opinion, but
Like my playlist is just so random. It's like I can be listening to like completely different things. Like sometimes it could be a Christmas song. Sometimes it could be Christian, um, um, rock. Like my playlist is Irish. My
hmm.
playlist definitely does vary a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good thing though. Keeps everything, kind of spicy the morning of race day. So
yeah. I personally for me, I have a half marathon in a couple of weeks, March 15th. I think. That's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from yesterday. So,
that's exciting. What one is it if you don't mind me asking?
I forgot the name of it's the one in Nashville. I forgot the name of it.
That's really cool.
The St. Patrick's Day half is basically what it is, but I forgot exactly what the name of it.
Yeah.
It goes well.
I hope so too. How's your training been for it? Do you feel like solid in that?
I feel like it's see if my problem is that I feel like I've never actually truly trained for half marathon. I just usually like get up and go. Like it's not that I have nothing in preparing for it. It's just I don't like I haven't ever really done specific half marathon training, which I feel should be doing more of.
I gotcha.
But the training I've been doing has been like, at least this past week has been felt really good. So
That's
like,
good.
like my runs have been roughly the same time. So I was like, I think I'm should be pretty good as long as it's not too hilly.
Mm-hmm.
It could be either flat or hill. I don't know. I'm hoping under 130 at least.
Yeah, that would be a
That'd be
great
cool.
goal.
That'd be cool to, because I know the last half marathon I did, which was last April, I think, I ran like 135. My PB is like 122. So
Okay.
I don't think I can go on the. Oh, the weird thing is that like on track one day I did like a 50, was it 56 or 57 10 miler? So I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm capable of running like 115, 116.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't ever done that in a full race.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I gotcha.
so what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone interested in running?
One piece of advice to someone interested in running. Um, I would say to always remember why you do it. And to always enjoy it because I think a lot of people, like I previously mentioned, they get kind of stuck on, well, I need to run a faster time. Well, I need to get a better place. I think about people at the professional level where it's always about getting more recognition or getting more money, and kind of getting stuck on like those outside factors, which I think are great motivators can be great motivators, but I think that the most important thing for you to remember, if you're, yeah, just starting out with running, if you've been running for a while, if you're all the way up to the professional Olympic level, kind of no matter where you're at in your running journey, is like, do I still enjoy it? Do I still love it? Am I doing it for the right reasons? And I think if you can confidently say, yes, I do enjoy it. Yes, I do love it. Yes, I do enjoy getting to run every day. Then I think you're in a really great spot. And I think it helps you perform better. So,
Yeah. Is that why you like running?
yeah, I do. I enjoy running for a lot of reasons. I think the biggest one being that, like, not everyone gets to do what we do. Like, it's pretty amazing what we put our bodies through. You know what I mean? Like, even just listening to you talk about your half marathon, like, who willingly is like, I'm going to go run 13.1 miles and, like, put my body through, you know, some pain in order to like achieve a goal that I have. Like you have to have a really specific mindset for that. And I think that that's what's super unique about someone who enjoys running is how much can I get out of myself on this day? Um, I think I also love it because, you know, it started with like my sister and I really love my family. I'm super family oriented and they're the best people in my life. And so I think that it always reminds me like, oh, like I have a race, like my sister's coming or my parents are coming or kind of brings my family together now that we're all older. And I also love it just because um it's a really great way for you to challenge yourself and to be able to push yourself and set new goals. Like the goals that I had back in college, I look at them now and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I've surpassed all of those in crazy ways. Like never would I have thought I was going to do a marathon. Never would I have thought that I would be trying to qualify for the Olympic trials. And then I do qualify for the Olympic trials. And now it's like, okay, we're going to try to qualify for the trials again. Like just all these goals that have just compounded over the years from just consistent hard work. And um, I just feel like I'm getting started. And I've been running professionally for 3 years. And I'm almost 29 years old. So I'm like, I don't know if that's just really optimistic or really silly, but I'm hoping that I can do it for a really long time because I enjoy it so much.
Um, so what company did you say that you run for? Or what thing did you say
What?
you?
Yeah, I run for a team called Hanson Brooks. And so we are based out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. And the Hansons are Kevin and Keith Hanson, they're brothers. And they started the program in 1991, I want to say. 1991. I might be off on that, but I think that's around when they started it. And then they partnered with Brooks as well. So like Brooks, the shoe company. And so that's where we have all of our gear from. That's where we get all of our shoes from. We frequently visit, headquarters and um, get to have some say in the products that they're developing or the products that they already have. They want our feedback on it. Um, and I've been running for them since June of 2022. So I'm coming up on 3 years with this team.
Fun. So are you close with all your teammates?
I am. Yeah, we have a really great group of girls. We had some shifts recently, like, people reach the point in their careers where they're like, okay, I think this is good for me. Like, I'm ready to move on. And tackle other parts of my life. So we've had some of that in the last couple months with some of the teammates, that I've had the privilege of running with the last couple of years. But I would say we're a pretty close-knit group of women. So,
Um, what would you say is your favorite race you've competed in?
ooh, favorite race, just ever or like on the professional level?
This professional level or
Professional
ever?
level. Oh, honestly, and this might again, people might look at some of the races as like,
Wait, what'd you say? It cut
can you
off.
hear me okay?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. My Zoom froze, and so I wanted to make sure that you could still hear me all right. Okay. Favorite race. I would probably say the Houston Half Marathon. Me and a few of my teammates did that in 2023, and it was a very magical day for us. We all ran like huge personal bests. I think I was 10th woman that day. Um, the course was amazing. We worked really well together. We had a great training block leading up to it. Um, yeah, I got to run it with like two of my closest friends. It was just like a blast. And that I think is what allowed me to be like, okay, I think that I could do really well running at this level. It gave me a great confidence boost. So, yep, Houston Half Marathon. If you haven't done it, it's a lot of fun.
What time did you get?
My time,
Yeah.
I ran 1:10:52 that day, and I
But it's
PR'd, I think, by like a minute and a half.
really good. So is that still your PR or have you gone faster?
No, I actually just ran the Houston half 2025, so in January, and I PR'd again. I ran 1:10:28. So
So do you think's under 110's happening soon?
I hope so. That's what we were training for. We were training at like 5:20 pace, which I think is like 109:50. So right around there. That day it was super cold. There was a fall at the beginning. A lot of girls got scraped up, and there was a big headwind later in the race. And so we ran a couple of miles that were slower than 5:20. Um, so it didn't happen on the day, but I think my last mile, which is like a little downhill, and you have a tailwind, I ran like a 5:03 or something ridiculously fast. And I was like, oh, if only I had a few more of these, maybe it could have resulted in a sub 70 half. But I think that that's coming at some point.
Do you have more half marathons this year you're gonna run or just Boston?
So we're gonna have Boston in April, and then I honestly don't know what's gonna be on my racing schedule after that. I know in the summer my coach likes to have us focus on, 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, 10 milers, like those distances before we start to do some longer things in the fall. So I'm sure if I do a half, it probably won't be until August, September, October timeframe, depending on if I do the Chicago Marathon again. But I'm hoping to do another half because personally, that's my favorite distance to race. So,
Yeah, like I've done a few halves, been and they're definitely fun. No,
hmm.
maybe not in the moment they're not fun, but afterwards,
Yeah.
when across the finish, I'm like, oh, that was so rewarding.
Yeah. You're like, when's my next one?
Have you ever won a race?
Have I ever won a race in general or on the professional level?
Either, I guess.
Say
E
it again.
either, either.
Oh, either. Oh, yeah. I mean, professionally, I have not won. I haven't had a professional win yet. I've come in second a couple times. Actually, more times now that I think about it. Some bigger races like the Shamrock Shuffle that they have in Illinois in March is a really, really big one. That's a 5 miler, and I came in second there. A couple of 5Ks I've come in like second at. But in college, I won quite a few times in like my conference and then on like the bigger stage, I think like ECACs was a big one and in high school, I never won state, but the best finish I ever had was third. And then I won like our district meet a couple of times. Our conference was always like, I feel like the level that um, I probably have had like the most wins if that's, how you want to look at it. But um, yeah, yeah, I've had a couple.
Hmm. Any other like fun moment, some fun running moments you have, or just any fun highlights you have? Because I have no more questions. Any other running moments you have to say?
I mean, yeah, I think on a daily basis, like funny things happen here and there, like especially when we're down here training in Florida. There's not a whole lot for us to do because we're just running, eating, sleeping, running. Um, I'm currently staying in a room that is Tangled themed because all the houses we stay in are Disney themed. So I think that's always funny because, I'm almost 29 years old and I'm staying in a room that looks like it's meant for a child. So that always makes us laugh when we come down here, like my teammates and I. But yeah, being on this team is a lot of fun and I'm still enjoying, my journey and having a lot of fun with it every single day at workouts and races and all that. Not everyone takes it too seriously, which I think is a good thing too. So, um, but no, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm glad that you asked me all those questions. They were really, really good.
Well, I think that's all I got for you. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank